All right, thank you guys so much for hopping on our team call. It is Monday, June 22nd, 2015, and I am Kelly Hanner. I'm your leader of Team Tubby to Toned. Tonight on our call, we have Carolyn Walker and Kelly Isaac. They're both Emerald coaches who have gone above and beyond when it comes to hitting Success Club. They, each month, time and time again, they are well blowing Success Club 10 out of the water. They're absolutely phenomenal. They're helping so many people. And what they're going to do tonight on our call is they're going to share their strategies for hitting Success Club. So you're going to find out from two people who are just absolutely killing it exactly what it is that they're doing. But before we dive into that, I want to do our little recognition. So let me get that up and going real quick. Cool. All right. So for our recognition, we have Success Club 10. The coach of the week from this past week, which I haven't posted our leaderboard yet, is Carolyn Walker. As of last Wednesday or Thursday, when this leaderboard was made, Carolyn had 22 Success Club points. Then after that, we have April McDonald, Brooke Sperling, Christina Munson, Kelly Isaac, who is on the call tonight with 12, Carolyn Marone, Sarah Smith, Irene Jaklowski, Angela Camello, Shauna Ord, Molly Trumpler, and Erica Steele with all Success Club 10 or more. Then almost there, they've reached either Success Club 5 or more. We have Amy Ashley, Rachel Riaza, Alicia Rogers, Avery Pelicane, Jillian Lockhart, Ashley Giberson, Molly Galvin, Shannon Trenzo, Jessica Hill, Jelena Buford, Corey Mayo, Ashley Lindsay, Danielle Hanson, Jana Hayes, Adam Hill, Alexa Northcraft, Sherry Moore, Courtney Finnegan, and Danielle Rhodes. Now, our leaderboard for the 1,000 Club. So we're going to go and talk about 1,000 Club and 500 Club. So the 1,000 Club and 500 Club are basically your team volume points. That means once you start becoming leaders and you start really growing your team, that's not only the amount of success your team is having in helping people, but that also takes into account how much success you yourself is having by helping people. So with the 1,000 Club at the very top, we have Carolyn Marone, Brooke Sperling, Kelly Isaac, Danielle Rhodes, Carolyn Walker, Corey Mayo, Irene Jakalski, Adam Hill, Ashley Lindsay, Amy Ashley, Alexa Northcraft, Jessica Lee, Angela Camello, Sarah Smith, April McDonald, and Jessica Hill. And with the 500 Club, we have Terry Luther, Alicia Rogers, Charisse Capabianco, April Pinkney, Melissa Ludwig, Sherry Moore, Amanda Galantine, Michelle Clapp, Tanner Hine, myself, Christina Munson, Erica Steele, Nicole White, Nicole Surface, Courtney Finnegan, Afi Ahmed, Samantha Sassano, Mackenzie Schaefer, Shauna Ord, Alexandra Hunt, Gina LaGalante, Molly Galvin, Brianna Lupino, Jelena Buford, Corrine Bellevue, Vanessa Gillespie, Emily Redmond, Gillian Lockhart, Lainey Hawk, Danielle Henson, Leslie Raymond, Malin Galloway, Jana Hayes, Jordan Kennedy, and Molly Trumpler. Woo! So we have had a lot of crazy success with all of our team. That's absolutely awesome to see all of that. Now, one other thing I want to do before we get to the heart of the call with Kelly and Carolyn discussing strategies for hitting Success Club, I wanted to show you guys, anybody coming to Summit, the gift you will be receiving. So let me stand up and turn around. You guys see that? Got a little bag.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. Cool. So anybody coming to Summit, you're getting one of those. And hopefully there's going to be some goodies inside as well. So that is for anybody coming to Summit. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And if you're not coming to Summit, well, damn, get yourself there so you can just get a bag. I mean, cool. Come on. But anyway, so let's begin the call. So I would absolutely love Kelly or Carolyn, whichever one of you want to step up first, sharing your tips for how you've been able to hit Success Club. So ladies, go for it.
Okay, who wants to go? I guess I can go first. I'll go first. So I really started hitting my biggest success when I jumped out of my comfort zone, which was really scary for me to do. And when I say that, I mean, I started posting about my life and what got me to this point. And for me, that was pretty scary because I went through some depression and things like that. And to put that out there on Facebook for the whole world to see was terrifying. And the first time I had done that, I remember sitting there going, oh my gosh, I'm going to have like 2 people like this. And, you know, people are just going to, people didn't know me back then. So I was a little terrified, but I had this overwhelming response and I had messages, people telling me that one in particular, this guy literally said that he thinks I saved his life because he was feeling so depressed. But the messages just started coming in and people started noticing me and I got into conversations with people, which led to challenge pack sales. So that was a huge success for me. And the more I did that, jumping out of my comfort zone and posting things about my life and scary things, not so good things, the more success I had, and obviously the more confidence I gained. And then I wanted more of it. It was almost like an addiction. It's like I jump out of my comfort zone and I grow and I'm like, oh, I want some more of that. You know, it's just like this weird addiction that's forming in me. I don't know what's going on. So that's one thing. And the free groups for me, I've been getting a lot of success with that. You know, people that normally probably wouldn't have any interest in anything I have to offer, they jump right in the free groups and they love it. And sometimes I'll get a challenge pack sale out of there, but I also have been talking to a couple people about coaching through the free groups, because if I notice people posting on a regular basis, I've been talking to some people through that. So that's been giving me success. But also one of the big things for me is just being out in a social setting and being proud to be a coach, like being excited and loving what I do, and people see that. And when I'm out and somebody asks me what I do, I'm excited about that. I'm happy they asked me, and I'm proud to tell them what I do. And I've got to get myself together because I need business cards for so many people that are interested in what I have to say, just being out in a social setting. I can't believe it. And that excitement that I show, it rubs off, and people feel that, and they want that. They want that too. And I've noticed I've got a lot of sales from that. So I was surprised actually, but I'm proud of what I do. So never be afraid to tell somebody you're a Beachbody coach or just a coach. I never say Beachbody, but I just say I'm an online health and fitness coach, and it goes from there. So I guess that's it. That's my meat right there, my meat and potatoes, and I've been getting a lot from that.
Well, Kelly, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a couple of questions too. So
okay.
Well, I mean, I love the fact that you say, you know, you jumped out of your comfort zone and that's how you're growing. And it's like an addiction. And because that's something I feel. Every time I do something, I say something I'm kind of terrified to say, I grow from it. And not only that, but every time I do something I'm terrified to do, it's crazy the response I get from people. And, you know, it may not be what people see out on social media, but it's more behind the scenes, the messages I'm getting. So do you find that when you do make a post that kind of you're jumping out of your comfort zone, do you find that you're getting a lot of people personally messaging you? So, you know, it's not just what people are seeing right there on their Facebook, but it's like, you know, people are actually going out of their way to message you and to be more private about it.
Most of that is the private messaging, because I'll notice that the people that private message me do not comment on my post at all. They don't even like it. And sometimes it'll be like 2 or 3 days later, or maybe even a week later, I'll get this random message from somebody and they're like, you know, you've really been inspiring me, your post. And, you know, they'll talk about a specific post where I jumped out of my comfort zone. And it's, yeah, those people end up being customers or clients, or I end up helping them in some sort of way. And even if I'm not directly helping them now, I see a possibility in the future. It's like I guess you use that word, grooming. I feel like I'm grooming them, you know, for further purchases or further coaches or whatever it is. But either way, I'm helping them, and it's awesome.
It's so great. That's so cool. And so, you know, you're proud to be a coach. You know, you wear that proudly. And so when you're out in a social setting and people do ask you what you do, you mentioned that you don't just flat out come out and say you're a Beachbody coach. So do you have like a script or like a thing that you always tell people when they ask you what it is that you do?
No, not really. I kind of just feel the person, and I just basically say I'm an online health and fitness coach, and, you know, I help people better their lives, you know, so it's not really a script. It's just kind of natural for me. And depending on who it is, usually they start asking questions, and, you know, I tell them, then I go into, yeah, I'm doing right now a program with portion control eating. But yeah, I never come out and really say Beachbody until I know they're interested. And then I send them information the following day. Like, I'll follow up with them and say, hey, you know, we talked about, you know, what I was doing, and here's some more information for you. And then I go into the script from there. Then I go into the script that you provide from there. And that really helps a lot.
Cool. That's awesome. And so, like, one more thing. So when you're talking to people, for a lot of people, when they're talking to people in person, they just want to dive right into trying to sell them, you know? So how do you just kind of like feel them out and ask them questions, and you're like running them through a consultation in person, or like, how does that work for you?
No, I just basically tell them what I do. And then, so I say I'm an online health and fitness coach, and they'll either ask me a question or they won't, but usually they do. I really haven't had anybody not ask me questions. And I just tell them that I work with people online, and I help them, you know, come up with programs that work for them. And I'm very vague. I don't go into any kind of scripts. I'm really, really, really vague at this point, because I'm just talking to them like a friend talks to somebody. And I don't try to sell them anything. I don't go into any of that. And then I just usually sometimes I'll even cut them off, like if they're asking too much, because I don't want to like come off salesy. So then I'll just say, you know, if you're interested, you know, I'll be happy to talk more about this. I'll send you some stuff, you know, and basically when I say that, it kind of cuts it off. That way I'm not selling them at that point, but I'm letting them know, hey, I'm going to follow up with you. So when they get that follow-up message, they're not like, well, now she's trying to sell me something. It's kind of more like a commitment I made with them, and I can go through the script then with them. It's better to do it that way, I think, than try to do it in person, at least in my experience. So.
That's awesome. That's exactly what I would recommend doing, because you're not verbally vomiting on them. You don't feel the pressure that you need to know the ins and outs of the script right off the top of your head. And like you said, you know, you're being their friend. You're not trying to overly sell them on anything, and you're just trying to, hey, you know, like let's carry this on later, you know. So that's really cool that you do that. That's exactly how I would recommend anybody do that. So that's cool that you got that down pat, and it's working for you, obviously.
Yes, it is.
Cool. Awesome. Now, one more question. How would you say coaching has changed your life?
Oh my gosh. I could talk forever on this. Really, actually, it was funny. Right before this meeting, I actually created a video on how coaching changed my life, which I'm going to post on YouTube. because it just was in my mind and I was just thinking about it. I've been doing this a couple months, and I literally feel like I've grown years, and I've been stagnant for so long, and I feel like in just 2 months of doing this that I've grown, I mean, tremendously. It's just been amazing. I feel happier. I feel, the personal development is something I never believed in until this. I always thought it was something that, I don't know, I just thought it was ridiculous, honestly. And I just didn't realize that there was so much good stuff out there. And I'm like, wow, this is speaking right to me. So the personal development, the confidence, and the stepping out of my comfort zone and putting myself out there and making myself transparent. And it's just, wow, I'm just growing so much faster than I ever thought I would. And honestly, I thought I was kind of stuck for life. Like inside. I did. I just didn't think that it was possible for me to grow. I thought that that was who I was, and I wasn't going to be able to, get past all of the inner demons that I was facing. And now I know with Beachbody, with all of you and like everybody, it's possible, and that it's just going to keep getting better for me. So it's been amazing.
Oh, it's so cool, Kelly. It's so awesome to have you a part of this. I've seen just so much growth from you, and I already knew that you had something about you. You had a likability about you. You have a presence about you. And it's really cool to see you kind of funnel that in a way that helps people. And not only helps people, but it helps you as well. And I'm so proud of you.
I didn't think I could do this. Remember, you would talk to me and I'm like, I can't do that. I'm like, I don't know how to write. I have no writing skills. I'm not going to be able to inspire anybody. I don't know how to put sentences together. Like, I'm a horrible writer. And that was my excuse that I made in my head. And, it was ridiculous. I can do this.
Right. I'm glad you got out of your own way.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. I'm so proud of you. Thank you. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, not a problem. Cool. So thank you for your tips. Carolyn, let's hear from you, girl. You've absolutely been killing it. So spread a little wisdom for us.
Okay. I'm Carolyn, for those of you who don't know me. I became a coach this past late December. I've thankfully been able to hit Success Club 10 each of the months I've been a coach. I went into this business thinking it actually wouldn't work, or that I wouldn't see any benefits from it. But once I really started to get into the whole idea, I learned to freaking love every single part of it. I'm constantly watching videos, listening to personal development, studying with top coaches, and just trying to mimic the leaders on our team so I can be successful as them. I think my main success has come from actually the desire to want to impress my coach, Carolyn Marone, or better yet, the idea to not let her down. I see the success she has had with the business, and I do my best to think outside the box on not how I can get myself to where she is today. She supports me, motivates me, and inspires me each day to be my own perfect coach who I would want on my own team. When I first started out, I have to admit that I was totally overwhelmed and didn't think I would be able to do it because I have a full-time graphic design job along with my own design business on the side when I'm not working my 9 to 5. The two things that frustrated me the most when I first started was that I wasn't comfortable with reaching out to people every day, and I didn't know what to say or what to post each day because we had to post 3 things a day, and I was freaking out because I didn't have anything to post. So with all my video watching and researching of the top coaches, I began to learn how to utilize my time, prioritize, and be organized with each aspect of the business. The two things I believe that have helped me be successful each month are 1, planning out legit every post for the following month, and 2, reaching out to literally every and any female who would give me the time of day. So like I said, when I first started, I was easily frustrated with not knowing what I should be posting, and I would stress out about the right message that should go along with my photos. I would sit in my room bright and early and create 3 images for the day, save them to my phone so I had them while I was at work, and thought of what I should say. This took up a chunk of time out of my mornings because I was so focused on making everything look perfect. Comes naturally as a graphic designer. Not to mention, when it came time to actually post the photos, it took me another 10 minutes to figure out what the heck to say, and then to type it on my phone, get it to Instagram, and then get it to my Facebook. To me, this was stressing me out because to do every single day, that's a lot of time. So I decided to do something about it. I created a template for myself in good old Microsoft Word for the entire month of February. This is when I started in January. I broke down each day into 3 categories on what I would be posting. So for example, my title table has Monday on the top and with the date, and then below it would be like workout, a recipe, and a motivational piece. From there, I planned out every single day for the entire following month, kind of like a blueprint of what I wanted to do. From this, I have a list of what photos I need to create, and then can go on working on designing them. Once I am finished a bundle of photos, I will take a break and work on the wording for each. I repeat this until the entire month is organized and planned out to exactly what photo I am going to post and what I'm going to say with the post. Now, this might sound like it takes up a huge amount of time, but it honestly doesn't. The initial creation of the template is what was going to take me the longest, and I've already done that for you, and it's in the Team Tubby to Tone file section. But for now, you can start finding images to catch that attention and then create a little library for yourself on your desktop. That way the images are there when you need them and you won't have to scramble the day of. Having this template, which is like I said, posted in the file section, has helped me to quickly and easily just copy and paste the text into Instagram or Facebook. What used to take me 30 minutes per photo now takes me like 30 seconds. I'm constantly creating posts in my free time, and I'm always planning ahead for the following month. The second thing I'm sharing with you all today is my strategy of reaching out to every and any female who will give me the time of day. I used to get completely shy when it came to reaching out to people because I didn't want them to think that by asking them about a program meant that I thought they needed it. I quickly learned that you can't be so selective with who you are talking to, or else you're not going to be able to help anyone. I start each month with going through my entire friends list and writing down names of 50 people on a piece of notebook paper. I then go down the list, look at their profile, and message them. I start with a, hey, congrats on the new job, or hey, I'm loving all your puppy photos. These little messages turn into combos where I actually get to learn more about the person than I originally knew. Then, once the timing is right, I bring the idea of a program up. I always use the same message that I made from the different scripts that we all have and say, so I don't know if this is for you or not, but, and then I get into the goods of the program. I never say the name of the program or Beachbody. For example, for the 21 Days Fix, I say, I'm looking for 2 people who are looking to reach their fitness goals and tone their bodies for the summer. I want to take these 2 people on a 21-day journey that simplifies the hassles of fitness and nutrition, and so forth. Sure, sometimes I lose the conversation flow and they don't respond, or I just get a flat no. But it's a chance I'm willing to take to reach as many people as possible. I have found, which is actually pretty obvious, is that the more people you reach out to, the more people you're going to be able to help. From my list, I keep track of who responds and who doesn't. I put a star next to people who are interested in more info and cross the no's off and move on to them for the next month. I will also keep track of the dates I message people, so when they don't respond, I wait a week and message them again. I typically message people 3 times before I move on and delete them from my message threads for the month. So don't get discouraged if someone doesn't respond or says no. Just write their name down on a list and save them for later. By messaging them, you are put on their radar and your post will start showing up on their newsfeed. Before you know it, they could be the ones coming up to you in the future. Just know that timing is everything, and it might not be the right time for someone now, but it doesn't mean it won't be next month or even the following. And that's it.
Love it. That's awesome. So I think it's freaking crazy that you went ahead and you created that amazing template, what to post, but that's, I mean, sure, it probably took you some time to do that at first, but now I'm sure it makes things so much simpler.
Yeah, everything's planned and all you have to do is copy and paste, and done for you.
Done. Yeah, totally. That's really brilliant. I mean, is that something, are you like a type A personality and that's why you kind of created that? Or did you just see that you were spending way too much time focusing on trying to create posts on the fly that you're like, screw that, I'm not doing that anymore? Is that kind of what happened?
I think it's a little bit of both because I'm very anal, so I need to be organized. I need to have my notes. I need to have everything planned. I get like scrambled and frazzled when I don't know what I'm going to be doing that day.
Mm-hmm.
So it eased my mind having the whole month following planned out.
Well, and thank you for posting that in our file section. That's incredible that you did that. That's a huge wealth of information you're passing on.
Yeah. No
We're all
problem.
pumped. So, all right. And then you start each month by writing down 50 people, right?
Yes.
Okay. So for somebody who is a newer coach and who's kind of like, well, I have 100 people that I'm friends with on Facebook, do you have a suggestion for the best place for you to find new people to add to your list?
But to find new people, you can family, neighbors, relatives, co-workers, people who are at your school. I even made flyers and we're handing them out on car windows, even though you're not really supposed to. But I was just trying to reach as many people as possible, and you never know who's watching. But Instagram, search for people, that's been a big one. But you don't have to limit yourself just to who you're friends with. Acquaintances, find people on Facebook, join other groups, get involved, meet new people.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing all of those incredible tips. You did awesome.
Okay.
Well, and let me ask you this. You know, how has coaching changed your life?
That's a big question.
Yeah.
I feel like my life has completely changed ever since I became a coach. I never really did something for myself, so to say. I always put other people first, but I've been thinking about coaching for so long, and Carolyn kept coming to me, and finally I made that commitment because I really wanted it. And I didn't listen to what anybody else had to say, and now I'm like loving my life. I have this total confidence. I don't walk around with my head down. I'm confident in myself, who I am, and I'm having the time of my life sharing my story. And what's better than working out with Shanti every day and getting paid for it? The life.
Yeah, that's so awesome. It's been really cool to see everything that you've accomplished in such a short amount of time. Honestly, it's really amazing. You know, you've grown a lot. I've seen you rise as a leader, even though I've never really questioned your ability to do that. Either you or Kelly, you both have taken off quite easily, it almost seems like. And I know it's not easy, though. Like, I say it's easy, but I know the groundwork behind it. I know everything that you have to do to get to where you are. And so I'm impressed majorly by both of you. I wouldn't have asked you guys to be on this call if I didn't think that you had something crazy to share. And so I'm really just thoroughly impressed and really proud of both of you. So thank you guys both for sharing. If you don't mind, I would like to ask maybe if the guys on the call might have a couple of questions for you. Is that okay if we do that? Okay, yeah. Cool. So does anybody have questions for Kelly or Carolyn? Come on, guys.
I have a question for Carolyn. This is Nicole. Hi. Sorry, I was coughing. I had to take myself off video. Do you put all of your scheduled posts into Word, were you saying, or do you use Evernote?
I have my template in Word, and then I save my photos on my desktop for the month in separate folders based on like recipes, workouts, and motivation. And then day of or the day before, I email it so I have it on my phone, and then it's also on my computer when I get to work, so I have it both. So then it's easy copy and paste.
Okay, it was the email part.
Yeah.
Okay. I know I message you all the time going, okay, now what do you do with here and here? So I'm going to run out of questions to ask you.
Ask me anything.
Okay, thanks.
Kelly, I wanted to ask you, so when you first originally came out with your story, what was that like for you, leading up to it? I know personally, but if you could kind of share with the team, people who are afraid to share their story, what kind of things were running through your head? What I can imagine, you thought like, oh, 2 people are going to like this, but were you afraid that maybe people would judge you and criticize you for what you've gone through in the past, or that nobody would be able to relate, or what was that like for you?
Absolutely terrifying. And I still haven't completely come out with, everything in my story. And I don't really feel like you have to. I mean, I feel like, you don't want to, at least for me, I didn't really want to go into detail, but I just wanted to let people know, like, hey, this is something I'm struggling with. But yeah, I thought that it would be a big turnoff for people. Like they were just going to look at me different or think that I had some disease or something, or that it was terrifying. Like to say, hey, I battled with depression and drugs and alcohol. I mean, and like not going into obviously I didn't want to go into specifics as a respect for my husband who didn't really want me to, but I just being vague and letting people know they're not alone and you can change your life and you can get out of it, and Prozac and all that stuff isn't necessarily the answer. And my goal was accomplished, and for the most part, I mean, but I'm babbling right now. But it was so scary. I mean, I didn't know what was going to happen, but I think more than not, I was terrified like nobody was going to say anything. And then I just put my whole heart out there on the computer for everybody to see, and nobody cares, and nobody's responding, and I was terrified for that, I think, more than anything. But it was just the opposite, and it seems like every time I put myself out there, I get more and more of a response, and I'm going to keep doing it.
It's awesome. It's really cool. And that should be something you guys take away from this, is you don't need to totally blast your entire story out there in your first post, and you don't need to entirely post your entire story. You can be vague about your story if you are afraid to share it, or maybe you have a restriction from work, or maybe your spouse might not want you to do it. You don't have to just completely air your entire laundry out there. You can kind of reveal it as you feel comfortable, and you're going to still get an awesome response. People are going to support you because people are looking for heroes. That's why superhero movies are as amazing as they are. They're blockbusters. People want heroes. People are sick and tired of turning on the news or looking through their news feed and seeing nothing but complaining and garbage, all of the garbage going on. And so for you to turn your story, turn your time of when it was a hardship for you, you struggled, but to take it from being a victim mentality and turning yourself into the hero, that is what inspires people. That is what gets people on board when they see somebody that they can look up to, because so many people are hurting. So many people are looking for a superhero, and that's exactly what you are being for people when you are their voice of positivity and their voice of change. So it's really cool to see how you've done that, Kelly.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Cool. Well, guys, I don't want to take up too much more of your time tonight. I want to say again, once more, thank you so much to Kelly and Carolyn. You guys You killed it. You absolutely killed it. It was your first time talking on a team call like this. I admire the hell out of you for doing it. Thank you so much. The recording will be posted later. I hope you guys all have a great evening. And hey, get your butts to Summit. You're going to get this nifty little bag and a lot of other awesome things you're going to walk away with. So thank you again for being on the call. I love you guys so much. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Back at you, Emily. See you guys.
Good night.
Bye.